If the rumors are true, GM might have just lit a fire under Ford's towing crown. I'm talking about a brand new V8 engine in the works, one that could finally close the gap in the heavy-duty truck wars by 2026. The crazy part? This leak didn't come from some sketchy forum post. It came from an $850 million factory upgrade. Yeah, real money, real parts, real soon. Now hold up. Before you go thinking GM's about to drop a 1,200 foot-pound torque bomb tomorrow, let's dial it in. What actually leaked is that GM's Tonawanda engine plant in New York is getting a massive overhaul to build their next-gen small block V8. This is the same plant that builds engines for the Silverado, Sierra, and even Corvettes. And while GM officially said these are for future vehicles, everyone in the truck world is connecting dots and asking, is this GM's move to punch back at Ford's 40,000-pound towing flex? And here's where it gets juicy. Because that factory retooling, it's scheduled to wrap in 2025, which just so happens to line up perfectly with the 2026 heavy-duty refresh cycle. But wait, don't think Ford is just sitting on its tailgate, because what Ford's cooking up might be even more surprising. So here's where things stand right now. Ford's sitting in the king's seat with their Super Duty lineup. The F450? That thing's rated to tow a straight-up ridiculous 40,000 pounds. We're talking full-blown construction equipment, not just your cousin's camper. It's absurd. It's like they asked, what's the heaviest thing anyone might want to pull? And just went, yeah, we'll build for that. And it's not just the diesel. Ford's gas V8s, the 6.8-liter and the 7.3-liter Godzilla, are holding their own too. You've got options whether you want a high-revving gasser or the stump-pulling power-stroke diesel with 1,200 foot-pounds of torque and a grudge against gravity. But here's the twist. Ford isn't playing defense. Word on the street is that the 2026 Super Duty refresh is bringing something totally different, a hybrid. Now I know what you're thinking. Hybrid? In a truck. But stay with me. This ain't about saving gas or hugging trees. What Ford's actually aiming for is torque assist, basically using electric power to help launch from a stop, climb slow grades smoother, or even power your trailer tech. That low-speed grunt? It could make maneuvering with a trailer feel way easier. Oh, and it might even give Ford an edge in the one place towing tests usually ignore, how the truck feels when it's working. And if they're building this thing at their Oakville plant like reports are saying, that means it's already in motion. Not some far-off concept, real production, real soon. But GM's not just going to sit back and get steamrolled, and this new V8 might be just the beginning. Now let's talk about GM for a second, because while Ford's out here waving around that 40K gooseneck trophy like it's the Lombardi, GM's not exactly slacking. Their current Silverado HD lineup? Still a beast. Under the hood, you've got two solid options. The 6.6-liter gas V8, good for 401 horsepower and 464 pound-feet of torque. And the Duramax diesel, pumping out 470 horses and a nasty 975 pound-feet of torque. And these numbers aren't just for show. Properly configured, GM's HD trucks are already towing 36,000 pounds. That's only 4K shy of Ford's top-end number. And most real truck owners will tell you, you're not pulling 40K daily unless you're running cattle or steel. For 99% of folks, 36,000 is already more truck than you need. But here's the key. That rumored next-gen V8, it's not just some replacement for what they already have. It's a statement. GM just dropped nearly $1 billion into their Tonawanda plant. That's not the kind of money you throw around unless you're serious about taking a swing. The bets are already flying. Some people think it's going to be an all-new small block designed for both performance trucks and the HD lineup. Others say it's GM's response to Ford's torque-laden hybrid with an engine that blends efficiency and power for towing. Either way, it tells us one thing. GM's not just planning for the future. They're gunning for Ford's throne. And if you look at the timeline, that plant is supposed to be up and running by 2025, which just so happens to be when the 2026 models roll out. Coincidence? I don't think so. But numbers on paper don't always tell the real story. Because if you've ever towed something big, you know what really matters isn't what the brochure says. It's what the truck feels like when the road starts fighting back. All right, let's get real for a second. On paper, every truck today looks like a superhero. You see numbers like 36,000 pounds towing or 1,200 pound-feet of torque and think, well, hell, that thing could yank a house off its foundation. But anyone who's actually towed a big trailer through mountains, heat, or long stretches knows the truth. Specs don't tell the full story. Let's talk about the Ike Gauntlet. It's this brutal stretch of highway in Colorado. Steep incline, high elevation, long pull, and it's basically a torture test for trucks. And every time they run it, you start to see the real winners. Not the ones with the flashiest brochures, but the ones that can hold a gear, keep their temps down, and not sound like they're about to blow a gasket. Sometimes Ford wins, sometimes it's GM. Even Ram sneaks in there now and then. But what it shows is that the towing experience isn't just about max numbers. It's about confidence when things get dicey. Like when you're descending a 6% grade with 15,000 behind you, and the engine brake is the only thing keeping you from white-knuckling it into a ditch. And while we're on it, can we talk about gas versus turbo versus diesel? Turbocharged gas engines sound cool on paper, but ask any dude who's tried pulling a 10K trailer up a long grade in an EcoBoost F-150. You'll hear the same thing. It ran hot, and it kept hunting for gears. That's why old-school guys still love their big gas V8s and diesel brutes. They're predictable. They don't panic. So yeah, GM's current trucks might not win the spec war today, but in the real world, they're still workhorses. And that new V8? If it brings more usable low-end torque or smoother shifting under load, that could quietly flip the towing experience in their favor. And speaking of the real world, most people have no idea how to actually read those confusing towing charts. So let's fix that right now. Let me let you in on a little secret most dealers don't want you to know. That max towing capacity number you see in big, bold letters? It's basically a best-case fantasy, like perfect weather, perfect trailer, one guy in the cab, 0 tools in the bed, and no snacks in the cup holder. Level perfect. The truth is, if you don't know how to read the fine print on the tow sheet, you're probably not getting anywhere near that number. Here's what matters more than the big, bold number. GCWR. That's Gross Combined Weight Rating. It's the max your truck and trailer can weigh together. GVWR, your truck's own weight limit. And most importantly, payload, because that's where most people get wrecked. Put a fifth wheel on a 3/4 ton and boom, you're overweight before you even throw a cooler in the back. Let's say your truck can tow 36,000 pounds. Great. But if the payload is only 4,000 pounds and your trailer tongue weight is 3,200, you're almost maxed before passengers or gear. That's why so many people end up with trucks that can tow the weight, but shouldn't. Here's a quick cheat. Look up your exact truck's payload sticker. It's on the driver's side door jamb. Match that against your trailer's tongue weight, usually 10 to 15% of trailer weight. If you're close to the limit before you even load gear, you need to go up a class or get a dually. Now, if that just saved you from buying the wrong truck, hit subscribe. Next week, I'm dropping a printable tow sheet decoder, something you can bring to the dealer, so you don't get snowed by a salesman with a clipboard and a smile. But even if you do everything right, what happens in 2026 could still shake up the rankings big time. All right, let's say these leaks are real. GM's dropping a fresh V8, Ford's dialing in their hybrid assist. What's it all mean for actual towing? Here's how I see it playing out. Nothing changes. Ford keeps its 40K pound crown. GM sticks with its current engines and plays it safe until the next refresh. The Super Duty keeps flexing, and Chevy owners just say, real ones don't need the marketing. This is the safe bet, but boring. GM fires back early. They rush in an updated calibration, maybe tweak gear ratios, re-rate the Duramax or that new gas V8. And suddenly, GM's sitting at 38,000 or even 40,000 pounds on paper. Not a full redesign, just a spec sheet play to stay in the headlines. It's happened before. Automakers love mid-cycle surprises, especially when they're losing ground. And with that $850 million investment, something's coming. Ford goes hybrid torque monster. Forget just towing more. They start towing better. Electric assist for smoother takeoffs, trailer backup tech, onboard power that lets you ditch the generator. And suddenly, Ford's not just ahead in weight, but in experience. It's not just numbers, it's how it feels behind the wheel. And that's really the bigger question, right? What matters more? A truck that claims 40,000 pounds or one that makes towing feel chill even at 20K? I want to know what you think. Drop your take in the comments. Would you rather own the towing trophy or the truck that handles better under real pressure? And if you're looking to buy before all this chaos hits, here's what you need to know. So, what if you're in the market right now? Like, your trailer's ready, you've got a trip lined up, and you're itching to order something this month. Here's the truth. If you need a heavy-duty truck today, just pull the trigger on a 2025 Ford or GM. You're not going to go wrong. These things already tow more than most people will ever actually use, and all the major bugs are worked out. Just make sure you build it smart. Go back and rewatch the tow sheet decoder section if you skipped it. But if you can wait 6 to 9 months, I'd hold off. Here's why. GM's next-gen V8 rumors are heating up, and order banks for 2026 models usually open late summer 2025. We're talking August to September. Ford's hybrid Super Duty has real smoke behind it, with production buzz already tied to their Oakville plant. And if it lands, it could totally shift how people think about towing tech, even if the raw numbers don't budge. So yeah, if you're not in a rush, this is one of those rare times where patience might actually pay off, either with a better truck, a better deal, or at the very least, more options. One more thing, don't get caught up in the bigger is better trap. I've seen guys spend 90 grand on a dually they didn't need just to haul a 7K pound camper. That's like buying a sledgehammer to hang a picture frame. Match the truck to your actual lifestyle, not the YouTube comments section. All right, let's wrap this up. Here's what really matters going into 2026. So here's where we're at. Ford's leading the numbers right now. 40K tow, hybrid rumors swirling, and already offering one of the most complete truck lineups out there. GM's not just sitting quietly. They're throwing serious money into a new V8. And history says that when they invest like this, they're planning a move. And if you're buying soon, now you've got the blueprint. Tow sheet decoded, hype separated from fact, and real-world insight that most sales guys won't give you. Whether you're Team Blue Oval, Team Bowtie, or just Team Don't Blow Your Engine on a grade, the next year or two is going to be huge for towing trucks. And it's not just about who can pull more, it's about who can make it easier, smoother, and smarter. If this video helped you make sense of the chaos, hit that subscribe button now. Because next week, I'm dropping that printable tow sheet decoder you can bring straight to the dealership. No more guessing, no more sales pitch BS. And trust me, the second GM or Ford blinks on those 2026 ratings, you'll hear it here first.